We don't hear the words anonymous and safe anymore together.
We all at times think, am I the only one having these thoughts? When they go onto Kooth and they see that there are actually other young people who are sharing similar thoughts and feelings, they then realise that actually it's not just them, they're not on their own. And
it means that there's help at your fingertips. An incredible announcement to make later on. Hello everyone, welcome to Wellbeing Wednesday. I'm really excited about our guest today, who's going to tell you about an app which is going to be really helpful for you if you are a young person who wants a safe space to talk about emotions, mental health and everything else that is going on in that sector for you.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. Nice to be here.
If you are not following Kooth, follow them on Instagram, but I think you're also on Twitter and on Facebook as well.
Yes.
And I discovered yesterday, actually, you have a Spotify account and a Spotify podcast.
We do, yes. So if you want to, if music's really your thing, there's kind of playlists on there and there are podcasts as well.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
My role is a bit of a mouthful. I'm an integration and participation worker and I cover Kent and Medway. And the kind of my role kind of has a mixture of kind of bits to it. So before lockdown, it would have been kind of going out into schools, GP surgeries, anywhere really where I could kind of spread the message about Kooth. So there's that part of the role. And then the other part is kind of, which is where the participation bit comes in, is about kind of doing workshops, sign-up sessions, etc. So, for example, the workshop might be on things like stress and anxiety, for example. So it's quite a varied role. Since lockdown first started back in March, everything's kind of gone virtual.
Tell me a bit about Kooth.
It's a free online service offering emotional and mental health support for children and young people. It provides online counselling, messaging, and there's a whole host of support tools and self-help features, alongside support from like young people and also members of the online Kooth team. And in Kent, it's available for 10 to 16-year-olds up until their 17th birthday, and it can be accessed every day of the year at any time, including Christmas Day. Three of the key things about it is, number one, it's free, so there's no cost involved.
Brilliant.
It's safe. Safe in that everything that's shared on the site is moderated by a member of the Kooth team before it goes live on the site. So say, for example, if somebody was posting something in the magazine articles or on the discussion forums, that's all moderated. There's no trolling, no online bullying. Users can't privately message each other. So it's a really supportive and confidential space for people to share their experiences and get support from other young people. The staff who deliver the kind of online counselling and support are trained, they're qualified, they have lots of experience in supporting and working with young people. And then the really key element is that it's anonymous. It's a site whereby young people can kind of feel safe and confident in exploring their concerns and issues, knowing that other people aren't going to know that it's them that's actually accessing that support. And because it's a website, it means that there's no kind of stigma around having maybe a mental health app on their phone, and we also don't store people's personal data. So again, that kind of keeps it safe and confidential.
We don't hear the words anonymous and safe anymore together. I think that one of the biggest things that we see on social media is that anonymous feels like it's unsafe. And I love this, because what you're saying is this is a really safe place for you to be anonymous and feel safe.
For some young people, it enables them to feel more comfortable about sharing their issues, their concerns, because sometimes wondering what your friends might think or what your family might think or maybe what people at school might think means that people hold on to those issues kind of for themselves rather than maybe talking to somebody about it. But also in terms of the issues that they're looking to kind of reach out for support with, they might feel a bit embarrassed, they might feel a bit uncomfortable, but because they're anonymous, they can kind of explore, the areas and the issues that they're wanting support and help with.
Amazing. Just to make it clear, I think I said earlier it's an app. It's not an app, is it? It's a website.
No, it's a website. Yeah. They've got access to a mobile phone, tablet, laptop, and it's connected to the internet. Type in kooth.com into the web browser, and that will then take them to the website. This is what they'll come to initially, and you'll see at the top here, if they do need urgent support, they can click on there, and then it'll kind of give them links to other services. And then what it also has on there is like an outline of what's on the site. If a young person wants to set up their account, they click on this yellow button, Join Kooth. So the first one is asking them where do they live, Swale, so Kent Swale, click on there. Then the place they live in is, and then let's say Isle of Sheppey, click on there. They go into the next step, It'll then ask them the year and the month they were born. Next step then asks about their gender and their ethnicities, and there is an option to say I'd rather not say, and then they can say British, Irish. I'll put British. Next step, this is the really, really key part. It asks the young person to pick a username and a password. With a username, it's really important that they don't use something that they might use for their social media handles, for example, or a gaming tag or a nickname. It's really, really important the username is something whereby either people aren't going to recognise and know that it's them. So that's really key. And the other thing that's really key is in terms of the password, that it's simple and easy to remember. And the reason for that is because it's not an app, we don't store people's personal data. If they forget their password, we can't reset it for them. So if they do forget, they can create a new account, and then when they get onto the site, message the Kooth team to say, I did have another account, and the two accounts can be merged. This will be the very first page that they will come to, and this kind of mint green area here, this is the daily journal. If they want to, they can kind of write about how they're feeling, and then if they want to, write in there as to why they're feeling that, and then they click submit. Only them and the Kooth team can see their journal. And the reason why the Kooth team will see the journal is, say for example, a young person posted something in there whereby maybe they're not feeling so great. A member of the Kooth team can get in contact and message them. And then there are the mini activities. There's the magazine articles, the discussion board, the support, which is the live chat and the messaging, goal setting, and then feedback. We try and get feedback from young people about the service. And what's really important is Kooth has been kind of designed with young people. So in terms of like what they're wanting, how they wanted to access services, it's all with feedback from young people. This is kind of how it's been created. So when you kind of got these speech bubbles here, that's the live chat and the messaging. The live chat, the kind of online counselling, is available from midday until 10 o'clock Monday to Friday, and at weekends from 6 till 10. So the way the live chat works is a bit like having a WhatsApp conversation. So it's all text-based, tapping in real time, whereas messaging the team is a bit like sending an email. If you wanted to message the team, click in here what you want to discuss, click the submit button, and then a member of the team will normally get back to you within 24 hours. It's normally quicker than that, but we say 24 hours. Some young people might have a structured session with their counsellor. They have an hour, they might have an hour a week. And then there'll be other young people that will just drop in for a live chat. If I don't want counselling, does that mean I can't use Kooth? You can absolutely use it, even if you're not wanting to do the counselling. The other features that we've got, we won't show you everything because obviously we want young people to kind of have a look for themselves, but these are just some of the other features as well. Goal setting can either happen, for example, if a young person is having online counselling, they can have goal setting with their counsellor, or they can goal set for themselves. And then we've got, as we've looked at earlier, the daily journal, an area here where they can see every post that they put up, so they can kind of track how they've been feeling.
I really like that. That's really helpful.
Yeah, so you kind of got a record. There's also links to other websites that maybe a young person is kind of thinking about, other issues, other areas that they might want to explore. They can also look at profiles of our online team. There's feedback. Again, there's another thing whereby we can get feedback from the young person. And then one of the really popular things on here is the mini activities. There are 18 in total, and these actually came out of the first lockdown, from feedback from young people who were saying we're spending loads of time on our phones, but actually the time we're using isn't really productive. The mini activities cover 4 key areas: so managing emotions, expressing the self, connecting with others, and helpful habits. You can click on it, and then it gives step-by-step breakdown of the activity. If they've done it, they can click to say they have if they want to. And they can also view what other young people have said. This young person makes you focus on calming down, controlling your breathing, help me feel calm and relaxed.
And I like the fact there's more than one, because lots of different choice. That kind of, to me, that looks like it looks at lots of different learning styles, lots of different personalities. It gives you that choice that maybe one didn't work, but hey, there's like 17 more to have a look at and see if that works.
This tab here, which is like the forums, but basically this is anything that a young person can post about any topic. It could be serious, so it might be maybe to do with kind of mental health and well-being. It can be fun. It might be, for example, what's the best topic on a pizza. So have live forums as well. And again, there's a moderator by a member of the Kooth team, and they're normally advertised on the site, and they'll say this is the theme for this particular discussion. We've then got the magazine. Young people can write stories, poems. They might write an advice piece, share their experiences. A young person wants to contribute, gives them an outline of what their article could be about, what they could write about, and again they post the title, put in what they want to write and submit it. A member of the Kooth team moderate it, and then it goes live onto the site.
One of the young people that I worked with, we were talking about her needing something else in those those days in between. And at the time, it couldn't be her parents, it couldn't be her friends. She didn't feel comfortable to talk to her friends about what was going on. And for her, she said, to be able to just sit in my bedroom and in that moment where I feel I need something, to be able to access something was amazing, and helped her build a toolkit. So it wasn't always just waiting for that one time where I get to see my mentor. I've also got daily, hourly things that I can access, again, at my fingertips in my bedroom where I feel safe. I just want to thank you all, because I think it's an amazing site for young people, and I think more young people should know about it and access it.
It's very flexible, so a young person can use it according to kind of how it's going to work for them. So for some young people, they might be maybe waiting maybe for an appointment with CAMS, or they might already be having counselling, but actually, like you said, rather than having just that 1 hour of structured with their face-to-face counsellor, for example, they've got other things that they can use in the meantime.
Counselling can bring stuff up, can't it, that you come out of your appointment with your counsellor and you're like, oh, okay, I've had that little talk, and then you sort of go home and then it's like, oh wow, all these thoughts and all this stuff is happening. And again, it's a place where you can go to straight away without having to sort of sit there in your spiraling. Do you find it attracts a certain kind of gender, or is it everyone?
All genders, really. I mean, we have a great trans, non-binary community on Kooth, and I think if it can be a space where, if a young person is starting to kind of explore their gender, it's a very, very safe space for them to do that and to kind of feel supported. There's going to be there's stuff on there for everyone.
Actually, it being anonymous takes away that side of even your gender. It's a really safe place because, as we said, you can be in your bedroom. Like, no one else has to know you're on this website.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really encourage, if you are struggling with your emotions and don't know who to talk to, go on the Kooth website, because I think it will be really helpful for you. I was thinking what I would say to my young self if I had about mental health and emotional health. And I think one of the things that I really struggled with was feeling like my problems weren't big enough to be worth talking about. And I would love to tell my younger self that any problem you feel is worth talking about.
Absolutely. That's one of particularly when we're doing presentations to young people about Kooth, is basically that Kooth can help with anything, that there is no problem too small, that there aren't silly questions. Very often people have a real fear of being judged about, whatever it is that they're kind of thinking about, and that fear of being judged means they may be more reluctant to kind of reach out. Well, because Kooth is anonymous, there's absolutely no judgment at all. We say that anything that's kind of making someone feel worried or concerned is worth talking and getting support with. It's there to help in whatever way.
What advice would you give your younger self?
My advice, well, probably similar. When I think about the things that I held on to because I was like, I don't know if I want to talk to my parents, I don't know if I want to talk to my friends. I wish that I had, because sometimes when you hold on to issues for a long time, they can really build up and become bigger and bigger and bigger. And then sometimes you can find that actually you end up taking it out on those closest to you who are completely no idea why you're responding in the ways that you are, but it's because you're holding in these difficult things, but you haven't kind of got them out and kind of talked about them. If I'd had Kooth, I would definitely have used it if it had been around when I was young.
You've got a new campaign that is launched this week. So it launched on Monday.
Yes.
Tell us about this new campaign.
For Children's Mental Health Week, Kooth have launched the Don't Do It Alone campaign. And there's a video as well, which is out on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. 5 well-known faces spread the importance of not dealing with mental well-being alone. And these 5 well-known faces are Chunks, there's Amelia Dims, Dax Jones, Riyadh Khalif, and then Joy Crooks. They're kind of talking about, there's some things in life, that you might want to keep to yourself, like, for example, singing to your cat or singing loudly into the mirror, for example, but really getting across the message that when it comes to like your mental well-being, that you shouldn't deal with it alone. Thinking about kind of Kooth and the fact that it's there and it's available, use Kooth if you are thinking about, actually, I do need some help and support. I'm not trying to leave and leave it to yourself and struggle and hold on to it by yourself.
It just sounds amazing. Like I had a sneak preview of a bit of the video, which will now be on our Instagram, but it just looks great. And I think it's so important, that message. Don't do it alone. We're going to end there. It is at day 3 of our 28 days of self-care. So my self-care tip to you today is to get on to Kooth.com and to sign up. And if you're already signed up, why not put in a journal post today and explore one of the mini activities? So thank you so much for chatting with me today. It's been really so helpful, and definitely we will keep promoting Kooth amongst the young people. We've got some wellbeing packs going out in the next few weeks, putting some of your cards in it.
Oh, brilliant.
If a school is interested, you do actually work with schools, don't you, as well?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you're a teacher and you are interested in knowing more about Kooth, do get in touch. Thank you so much, and it's been really nice to chat. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.